twisting and laying and melting.
It needs a lot of something because I'm telling you, I don't know. It wasn't, I just, the images, like I knew it was a scam. I wasted my money. Anyways, so you guys, welcome to Karen's Court. Obviously, the courtroom is fake, the topics are real. And we have Voodoobae here tonight to talk about the allegations that people have been making that she has been scamming them. And not only that, people are in fear of their children's lives, their lives. And I want to be certain here, and I want to be correct on a few things. First, I want to make sure everybody understands that if this live gets out of hand in the comment section, I will go to sub only. I am not going to sub only because I want people to be able to comment. However, I will go if it gets out of hand. Second, the only people right now that will be allowed to talk to Voodoobae is people who have been directly affected. And I mean, who are claiming that they have been scammed, which means you have paid for her services in some sort of form. Okay. We are not going to do gossip and hearsay and all of this stuff. Right now, we need to get to the proof. Hey, Cuban, we need to get to what is provable and what is actually out there. Then afterwards, we can have a discussion on what the jury feels is true, what's not true, and anyone is welcome up. All right, Voodoobae.
Yes.
Let's start. I mean, with some of these. Let's first of all introduce yourself for the people who may not be familiar with you.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Omitola Yalaje, affectionately known in these TikTok and social media streets as Voodoobae. I am a fully initiated Olorisha of several Orishas, Oshun being the main one. I am a working priest off this app and have been initiated into traditional Isheshi Ifa traditions for far over a decade. That is who I am. Aside from that, I am a business owner. I own Voodoobae Cosmetics. I also own an apothecary of spiritual products. Aside from that, I am also an actress. I am also a writer. I am a lot of things. But on this app and what we are talking about, I am a priest.
Okay, well, that's what we're here for now. I want you to first, if you can, because there are people who deny that you are even at the bare minimum of a priest. What can you provide to us as proof that you are?
Okay, so I want to get my assistant, who is upstairs, on here so that I have created an entire spreadsheet, videos, etc., with all of the screenshots, all of the videos, everything to answer any of the questions. Now, before we get into that, I want to start here because this is going to lay the foundation for this conversation. Who has a seat at these tables? What is African spirituality and who has the right to speak? Okay, so just like Africa, African spirituality is not a monolith. Being African does not make you an elder or an expert on all things African, and especially not African spirituality. Mm-hmm. African spirituality across the continent might have similar things. There might be some things you can connect, but they are also very different and very specific. What I practice is very specific. And if you are not an initiate of these specific traditions, you do not have a seat at the table. Mm-hmm. You cannot speak about what we do, how we do it, why we do it, if you are not. And even inside of these traditions, there are variations depending on which lineage you come from. What they do in Ile Ife and what they do in Oshogbo may differ and may vary. And so what you do and how you do it can definitely vary. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so if you are not in these traditions, if you are in one throughout the diaspora, let's say you practice Lukumi. Shout out to all of my Lukumi practitioners. I have a lot of respect for them. What we do in Isheshi and what they do in Lukumi is quite different. And so, again, if you are not in these traditions, specifically in this, you don't have a seat at the table. And that's just that.
Got it. Got it. And we kind of found ourselves here because it seems like there were some people who don't have the seat at the table, as you say, who are making a lot of allegations and uplifting these allegations. So let's start with the presentation. Who can I add on to help assist in this?
So it should be Suave. I don't want to say her real name. I'm like struggling.
Yeah.
Do you know how to request to go on to Aunt Karen's live? Sure. All right. So it will be my Voodoobae cosmetic account that'll request to come in.
Okay. All right. So as we wait for that, I am reviewing comments, and to my mods, just mute people who are openly and blatantly disrespectful. I don't mind if people are, just having discourse in the comment section. To the person that said I got a bump in my hair. Okay. Listen, I don't got that much hair on my head. I have to do a little something. Okay. All right. You see the wigs I got didn't work out. All right.
Right.
So as we go on, so let me see if if they have requested. They haven't requested yet, so we'll give them some more time.
Have you requested? Okay, I'll be right back. Let me go help her. She doesn't really know. She's not a TikToker expert like the rest of us.
Okay, no, that's no problem. Let me just go ahead and read some of these comments. The swoopity swoop. Listen. I don't have that much. Now listen, y'all. Now if it stands up like this, what do I look like? Go ahead, take a photo. Go ahead, screenshot. If it stands up like this now, are y'all happy now, or do you want the bump? Which one do you want? Do you want the bump or not? It's giving baby shark, right? Okay, so alfalfa, okay, let me comb it over and do what we can. Okay, we got to work with what we got, y'all. Okay, we can Cindy Lou. Okay, we got to work with what we got. Okay, now don't do the Jimmy Neutron. Now y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. See, that's and for that, I'm not gonna do nothing else for y'all, Dory. Oh my goodness, y'all are ridiculous. Okay, just so you guys know, as of right now, I'm going to let other people, because I see Petty's in there. I see a few other people have requested. We want to be able to allow Voodoobae to get through her presentation first and to address the allegations. And then everyone else, we're going to have people talk and ask questions as we go, okay? So that being said, I wish I knew if I could switch and be able to show make myself smaller and somebody else bigger. I don't know how I can do that. I know I see other people do that all the time.
Some way to do it with the layout.
Yeah, see, my layout only gives me two, like the grid or the panel, and I think I still have to update. So I guess it may not work. But you did email me right?
Can you do you know how to turn on the camera?
Ah, shit. Yes, I think so.
I can send you I just sent you an invite. So if you see the invite pop up, you should and accept that.
I'm here, right?
Do I have to come back upstairs?
I got it.
You have to hit save. Yeah, somebody mentioned in the comments, because if you just touch, yeah, there you go. Okay. All right.
All right. So angle the camera down a little bit and get a little bit closer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the first thing we're going to address is my authenticity as a priest and my lineage in general. Okay. And that's what this video is going to address. Okay. Go ahead.
I want you to speak about Oshunita.
Turn off that background light. The lamp.
Mm-hmm.
It's making it look a little
better.
And the lamp by the bed.
If you can't and you want me to do it, I can also bring it up on mine because I have it up as well for people to see. So go ahead.
What happened to the camera?
Is that better?
No,
We
we
can't-
can't.
the
We can't
camera's
see you.
on.
The camera went.
There you go. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I want you to speak about Oshunita. Who is the lineage from which our Oshun comes from?
Okay. I greet you all. My name is Oba Obìnrin Yèyélúà Ọlọ́ṣun Òṣogbo, which the Oba of Òṣogbo land crowned me. My godmother was Yeye Oshunita. She's late now, though. Anyone that doesn't know Oshunita in Òṣogbo, maybe the best person just entered Òṣogbo land. She is a mother, and she's one of the priests, high priest in Òṣogbo land when it comes to Òṣogbo. Whenever Aruba comes out from the palace, she must pay homage at Oshunita Junction to pay homage to
Pause
her
for a second.
when she was
Pause for one
alive.
second.
Yeah, pause for a second. Can you?
All right.
I want you to
Yes. Yes,
There's a
I'm going
disconnect.
to explain to you what she is speaking of. If y'all see the elder Iya priest there, her name is Oshunita. She is one of the most beloved and respected Oshun priests in Oshogbo. What she is explaining is that when they come out of the palace, that they must go and greet. So Oshunita has made her transition. And what she is saying is that even the kings and the queens of Oshogbo, when they come out of the palace, they must go and greet her, the street and the compound that was named after her. That is what she is explaining, who Oshun Ita is, my Iya, my godmother, is what she is explaining.
And this is her here, correct?
Yes, that is her.
And you said and for those of you guys who are not catching on by transition, she has passed, correct?
Yes, she has passed. And so after the video, I will show pictures from my initiation, the same woman who is speaking, performing my initiations, and we will get to that. So continue.
Which the Oba of Òṣogbo land crowned me. My godmother was Yeye Oshunita. She's late now, though. Anyone that doesn't know Oshunita in Òṣogbo, maybe the best person just entered Òṣogbo land. She is a mother, and she's one of the priests, high priest in Òṣogbo land when it comes to Òṣogbo. Whenever Aruba comes out from the palace, she must pay homage at Oshunita Junction to pay homage to her when she was alive.
Asheo.
She initiated me to Oshogbo. My goddaughter, which is Omitola, she initiated her to Oshun. In fact, I can say it boldly that she was the last godchild that she initiated before she late. So anybody that is saying that she is fake, her initiation is fake, let that person talk to Oshogbo. And if anybody can now stand up and say that Oshunita is fake, that person is looking for the fight of Osun Osogbo. Even when I was crowned as Ọba Obìnrin, Yèyélúà Ọba Obìnrin, Osun Osogbo of Olosun Osogbo land, by the king, His Royal Majesty, Jimo. He spoke a lot about Osunita, what she has done in the community, what she has done for Osun.
So the people that understand, what you just said. I am the last person that this amazing Oshunita initiates before she made her transition.
Exactly. So, if you want to go against her, you are going against Osunita. You are going against me. Above all, you are going against Osun Osogbo. If anybody says that Omitola, she's a fake, were you there when she was initiating? I can feel it. It has to be jealousness and heaviness. Omitola is truly, originally initiated to Osun.
All right, we can stop that right there.
Sweetheart.
So let me say this to everybody.
I want you.
Essentially, what this woman is saying is that I was the last initiate of this highly respected elder Oshun priest of Osogbo. I am the capstone to her legacy. So when you, and this is mostly for my Orisha people throughout the diaspora and everybody else, when you get on this app and you disrespect me and you question my initiations and you say that I am a fake and you say that I am this and I am that, which, by the way, if you are a practitioner or practicing these traditions, you are out of protocol, because it is taboo for us to speak ill of another awo, to speak ill of a crown priest publicly, and y'all know that. So when you get on this app and you disrespect my lineage, you are not just disrespecting me. You are disrespecting one of the most respected lineage of Oshun and all of Osogbo and all of Africa. And you are disrespecting an Egun, an elder Oshun priest who is no longer with us. I am the capstone of her legacy. My priesthood is not up for discussion, debate, or slander on this goddamn app. I am exactly who the hell I say I am. And for all of the people who know what I'm about to say, I am not only initiated into Orisha, I am also initiated into Agboni. For those of you who know, you know. And if you don't know, it ain't your business, don't worry about it. But again, I will say, when you fix your mouth to disrespect me, I want you to understand I stay humble on this app. I don't respond. I keep quiet. I let people talk. I let people say and go and go and go. But you are not just disrespecting me. You are disrespecting all of Oshun Osogbo. And you need to understand that. And that is specifically for my other priests and Orisha practitioners. Put some goddamn respect on my name, because I damn sure deserve it. Fuck this. Sorry. This app is not real life. We are a community outside of this app. And when you get on here and you disrespect me and you lie and you slander my name, you affect people from this continent to the next. And you disrespect the elders of Oshun practice. Understand that.
So you have established your lineage, and I'm glad that you brought this up because that was always the first thing that came into question. One of the things that a lot of people are talking about as we move on and we establish that. What else do you want to show to provide? Because you know how people are. Well, what else is there? You know what I mean? Please
Let's show
continue.
the pictures from my initiation. Let's do that.
And I'm going to show you guys can see them since it'll be a little bit bigger on my screen here.
No, those are not. Those are from the products. Let's go back to the pictures from my initiation.
I want you to watch.
What happened to my... Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I got to get it
Y'all
back.
forgive, you know her. She is not this TikTok expert, etc., etc. I can show them here. So here, until she gets the slideshow, here is the picture of the woman that was just speaking. Okay, there you go. That is the elder that was just speaking, my godmother. The next one is her again.
Is it all a part of the video, and I can just
Yeah,
kind
you
of
can
skip
push
through?
play. It should go to the next picture.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah. Here are the pictures of my initiation. And for anybody who is wondering, why didn't she cut her hair? During this time, concessions were made not to cut my hair because of my career. I was a full-time working actress and model at this time, and concessions were made. So if any of y'all have questions about why my head wasn't shaved, that is why. Again, I don't owe any of y'all these explanations, but since we're here, okay? So that is her, the woman who was just speaking. You can go to the next one. This is after my initiations. She is there. We are all there. As you can see, I look like I've been through hell.
And who is the man with you?
That is my partner. We're going to get to him next, and to the temple, our temple.
And then this person here?
That is Oshunita's eldest daughter. Oshunita was essentially on her transition bed while I was making my initiation. Again, I was the last person that this elder initiated. Don't disrespect my initiation or my crowns. Don't. Because you are not just disrespecting me, you are disrespecting Oshogbo.
And these are more from the initiation, from the celebration, would you say?
Yes, this was afterwards. Everything was done, and we were dancing and celebrating.
And then we have this here.
Yes, all right. So let's get to my temple, okay? The Akemi Olokiegbe temple is a temple that is licensed, certified, and well established. The Akemi Olokiegbe temple was established in 1890 by the great grandfather of my partner and has been passed down through the royal bloodline since then, and now is run by my partner, Olumale Lucky, okay? And that is who you are seeing there. Their family is from Ishan, Edo, Benin, Nigeria. That is where they are from. The patron and matron Orisha of our temple is Alokiegbe and Iyamo. These are not Yoruba deities. These are Edo deities. Okay? So just so y'all understand, you will be like, I don't recognize their names. No, you don't, because they are from Edo. Okay? So this is his chieftaincy title. Again, more certifications for the temple.
Now, some people would say that these could be doctored, these could be fake. What do you say to that?
Prove that they're fake. Do you think I have time to sit around and make fake certificates to make. Do you understand what it took to even pull all of this together to organize? Do you know how much time I had to spend doing this when I could have been spending time dealing with my godchildren, dealing with people that I work with off the app? Do you think I have time to make fake, like, in all honesty, if that's what people say, I can't. Because the thing about it is you could literally bring anything, and if the people don't like you, they're gonna say what they're gonna say. But it's ironic that the people who have had the most to say have had absolutely no receipts at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As we, I must have went backwards there. Hold on, give me a second here. Let's see here. And we're just going through.
Yeah. More certificates. And those are for our herbal and holistic licensing that gives us license to make the products. We're going to get to the products too. Certificate of incorporation. Okay.
Should I pause here?
You can pause here. This is my code of conduct for my temple. And what this document speaks to is how we run our temple, the expectations of any of the awo, any of the priests that I train. And I have everybody that is in my temple sign it because we believe in codes of conduct. We believe in ethical priesting. And so everyone is required to sign this. And if you want to read anything from there, Aunt Karen, feel free.
Absolutely. I mean, it seems it will start with the first. It says all oaths and pledges are made to the Orisha, not to us, and are therefore spiritually binding and should always be honored. Point 2 says respect is earned and given mutually by everyone in the temple. Point 3 says, as your godparents, we are here to support and guide you on this journey. If you are having issues of any kind, whether it is with us or any member of the temple, please come to us and voice your concerns so we can resolve them as quickly as possible. 4, never use your left hand against one of your god brothers or sisters. Spiritual workers given or taught to you should never be used against another member of the temple. And that goes on, and then there's a paragraph here. Powerful things in the hands of weak people can be very dangerous. Just something I wanted to speak on. Is there anything else you wanted to say with this document?
No, that is it. Essentially, the ethics of this temple are unwavering, as are my ethics as a priest. These pictures are pictures of me performing my duties as the Neneo Lumale, which is essentially the queen mother of this temple. This is me and my partner. These are 2 of my goddaughters. I've obviously blocked their faces out because they don't need to be, involved in this mess. But that is me performing my duties as the lead and head in this. This is us taking the procession. These are the amount of priests that go into initiation when we are taking people. This is when we are taking this Yemonja to the river.
My cat is hating on me, y'all. I'm sorry.
This is my partner and I in the temple being served by one of the Babalaos. Okay. Yeah. This is another procession, me standing with the new Yemonja. Okay, as you can see, I am there leading the way, leading her. This is me and my partner standing with one of our new initiates. That is me standing with one of my new goddaughters. Again, I'm going to say, you people on this app don't have the right or authority to question my priesthood or who I am off this app. Okay, now, I want to get into, before we get into this screenshot, I want to talk about the breakdown of the divination process, okay? And what it means to do divination with me, okay? Because there's been all of this conversation about Ebo and about scamming and all of this. So let's address that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
When you there's a difference between doing divination with me, Orisha divination, and a consultation. Okay? When you have not done divination with me, if you have not received an Odu, if you have not received a PDF, if you have not received a Dilogun divination, you have not done divination with me. If you have done a consult, a Q&A, or any of those things, that is not even in question because you paid for a service, you got your service. Now, divination in and of itself is the system that we use to perform readings. We don't even call them readings. We call them divination for people. Okay. When you do divination with me, you are sent an email. So let me backtrack. Before I do divination with somebody, I do consultations with them. Why do I do that? To explain how I do divination, the responsibilities of doing divination, and how it is going to work when we do it. You are then sent a follow-up email, which part of that email is what she is showing right there. It is a long email that explains many different things, but the part I want to focus on is the section on Ebo. Ebo is, so divination is two-part. It is the reading itself, and then it is the work, the sacrifices, whatever needs to be done for that divination.
Mm-hmm.
In there, it explains to everybody what divination is, what the responsibility of it is, how it works, when it should be done, etc., etc., etc. Everything is there before you do divination. You are explained everything in detail. And every single person who has ever done divination with me got this email.
I want to show that email. Is it in the slide?
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing it? I don't know why I don't see it.
She's showing it right now on her screen.
At what point, if you could tell me at what minutes do you, the exact minute and second that it appears? For some reason, I'm skipping past it.
Do you see the minute markers of where that is at? Can you hear me?
I'm trying to fast forward because I know it probably.
It's right after the products.
What minute? What minute marker do you have?
Let me see.
Right
I don't have a minute marker because I'm doing presentation.
Okay.
Let me see.
Right after the products, I don't see it. Okay. Okay.
Sorry, y'all. This is a lot of.
Yeah, if you could just show it again to the cosmetics account. If you could just show it again on your end.
Okay, 1 second.
For some reason, I don't know why I don't see it. Because the next thing that comes up are maybe I'm just not. I'm going too fast. Maybe it's going too fast, or was only up for a short time, and so. So the next for me it goes into people, and I don't want to say who right now. So that's why I don't want to show my screen. So I'm missing it.
Can you zoom in on that? Can you just pull the screen closer to that? Can you read anything from there? Let me see. I can try to pull it up.
Oh, I can. I can kind of. Yeah, there we go. Pull it just a little bit closer. So we see the role in life, the importance of the, and I don't want to say it wrong. Is it Ebo?
Ebo.
And YouTube videos. Who, what, is your? I can't read that. And then who are the Orisha? Okay, so
that's listing all of the things that are going to be in the email.
Okay.
Slide over to the other side. Okay. Zoom in. This is the section that, you know what? You want me to forward you this email right now? Okay, and I can.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on 1 second. Let me forward it to you.
Yeah, that'd be great, and I'll just pull it up on my screen.
No problem. Let me do it right now. I'll be right back.
Yeah, because I don't want to, before we get into exact what services some people got, we want to make sure that we get to the. Not my cat being a, look at my cat being a whole ass menace. All right. I want to get to my email here while I wait for her to send that. All right, as we wait for that, what's the cat name? Salem. I have several. So this one is Salem.
I sent it to you. You should get it.
Okay. All right, so we're just waiting on that. Let me close and open. Okay, here we go. All right, let me open this for you guys, make it bigger. Okay, here we go.
Do I have an echo now?
Let me open this for you guys, make it bigger.
Yep, there's an echo. Do I have an echo now? I just got a call. I might have to drop down and come back.
Yeah,
Do I have an echo now?
Let me open this for you guys, make it bigger. Oh yeah, that was a big echo. All right, so while he's doing that, let me go ahead and flip my camera. And
okay.
All right, here we go.
Okay, so if you scroll down, it will take you to the portion that speaks about Ebo right there. What is the importance of Ebo? So everyone gets this email before doing divination with me. So they go in with their eyes wide open. I provide all of this information because I know that I'm dealing with a lot of people that are just coming into these traditions. They have no idea why we do what we do. They have no idea how things work. And so I try to give them as much information as I possibly can, as much to prepare them for the process. Now, I want to talk about the responsibility of a priest, of an Olorisha. When we sit on that mat, it is our responsibility to deliver the message of the Odu, good, bad, or otherwise. Because even if a message is seen as negative, we see it as a blessing because to be forewarned is to be forearmed, and a solution is always offered in the form of Ebo. That is what Ebo is for. And so there are times when I have to tell people the hard things, but I am always there to offer them a solution and walk them through to that solution. That is my job. Again, there are things that come out on the mat that are not pretty. Now let's speak to the next slide that y'all saw, which is about Abiku, because this is one of the things that people have been running around this app talking about the children and that I'm cursing children and blah, 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 blah. Okay? I'm also going to play a voice recording to explain what is an Abiku and all of that. So Abiku, what does that word mean? It means child born to die. That's what it means in translation. And these are special spiritual children that are born into families. And for full transparency, my daughter is an Abiku. And we are grateful when this comes out on the mat because we understand in these traditions what we need to do in order to protect these children. It is a hard thing for anybody to hear. It is scary, especially if you are not in these traditions and you don't truly understand what is going on. But either you believe in these traditions or you don't. So for all of the people that are in the comment sections that don't understand, this tradition is not for you. I am explaining things that you don't understand, and you never will. So when you come in and this is spoken about, your Abiku children, we offer solutions. Go speak to other priests about what is Abiku. And there are processes and things that we do in order to deal with that situation, in order to protect these children. And I want to play an audio recording of Olumale explaining further in detail what is an Abiku. And I just saw a comment. I want to explain something. The solution isn't money. The solution is the work that has to be done. And I don't know why anybody on this app or anywhere else thinks that we work for free. And I'm not talking about our labor. I'm talking about the products, the animals, the herbs, the things that have to be bought in order to do Ebo. What do you think we do Ebo with air? What? I don't know what people think, but again, this is a lesson for me. And let me tell you what the lesson for me is. I was so excited about bringing these traditions and being a bridge for people in the diaspora. And I work with so many people that are making their first step into this. But the lesson for me is that many of them don't understand. And the sacredness of these traditions are lost on many people because they just don't get it and they don't even know what they're dealing with. So if you have your first divination and it comes out, you have Abiku. I understand being jolted. I remember when it came out for me. And I was new in the traditions. And I didn't know what was going on. So I get that. But to lie and say that I have ever cursed children, that I have ever said that if you don't do this and such, your children are going to unalive, that is a damn lie. And I challenge anybody to bring a screenshot or a screen recording where I have said that. I can speak to you and talk to you about what Abiku is, etc., etc. What you choose to do with that information is completely up to you. You don't have to do anything. You can take that information and go to another priest and ask them. You could take that information and tear it up and be done with it. That's all you ever have to do. But again, nobody will ever be able to provide a single receipt that will say that I said, if you don't pay this money, your children are going to be unalive. Abiku, it is advised strongly to handle what needs to be handled spiritually for these children. It is strongly advised in the tradition, not by me, in the tradition. It is advised to handle that. But you will never see anywhere where I have threatened people or said that if they didn't do such and so, that this was going to happen. There is no receipt that they can ever provide for that at all. That's that on that. And I mean, if y'all are interested, I can play a voice recording that will further explain in depth about Abiku if you are interested in hearing that.
Yeah, I mean, I think people would like to hear what that sounds like, so there's no disputing it. And just to get a little bit, I don't know how long the voicemail is, but just to get a little bit of information.
Hold on. Be right back.
So while she does that, we went to sub only because there's a lot of Christians in the comments that were just disrespectful to Voodoobae. And we just don't have that time now. We don't have that time. But I also want to remind that if there are anyone, we will turn the comments on for the accusers as well. If there is anyone who is accusing Voodoobae that would like to speak up, you are more than welcome to send in your request. You don't need to be following me. You don't need to be a jury member to send in a request. So I want to make sure that we're clear on something, because a lot of people like to run with narratives and go and say, well, I couldn't get in because she had it sub only. Sub only does not stop you from sending in a guest request. I also don't want the narrative, oh, she did sub only, I couldn't say how I feel. If you can request live, I've seen plenty of people on the live before, and you can get on live, okay? Now, so let's just be honest. Voodoobae, go ahead.
Okay, so here we go. This voice recording is like 7 minutes. We don't need to listen to it all, but we can listen to a little bit of it.
Yeah, just give us a little bit.
Ayato ayaje ayamu omari washipe olokiagbe ugbaze. I go by the name of Lumale Lucky or Emperor Lumale. Abiku. Many people have a lot of misconception about Abiku. Many people believe that Abiku age stop at 11, 12. I've seen some people that says 13. But what people need to understand is that working priests and priestess actually have years of experience working with these spirits called Abiku. And Abiku can also be called Emere. Abiku can also be called Aobanje in the Igbo spirituality. And Abiku can also be at any age. Abiku is a child that is usually sent to torment a family, or the mother, or the father, or both of them. And most times there are many reasons why this particular spirit are sent to disturb the family. It can be due to their acts, negligence, or it can be due to someone out there that is witch hunting the family that activated that spirit of Abiku to go and hunt the family. And that person has to be more like a sorcerer or a priest or an evil priest. So Abiku information, you cannot get it from Google. The few information you will get about Abiku is about the Professor Wole Soyinka, who is actually a literaturist. And if you want to understand more about Abiku, you need to come to Africa. Get initiated. You are going to meet a lot of clients. You are going to assess their situation. And then you will start to understand how the spirit operates. There are some Abiku children who die.
Sorry, y'all. I keep touching the thing.
I mean, Edo states, or like a sorcerer, or I can't begin to go in details. What I personally with my mom did not only torment her parents, my mom tormented her husbands, my mom tormented her children. And it happened to her once every year as the initial starts.
So what he is going to go into, and I don't know how long you want to spend on that, but he goes into
good. Go ahead.
Okay, he goes into the story about his own mother who was an Abiku, because there are some people who believe, and this is their lineage, that Abiku stops at 12, 13. And as priests that have worked in this tradition and in our lineage, we understand that Abiku spirit does not just go away, that there are things that are always done for your egbe, etc., etc. Okay? Mm-hmm. So that is that. I just want to say that, it's not easy sitting on the mat. And if you are not a diviner, if you are not a priest, if you are not reciting Odu and bringing the messages of the Orisha to people, you cannot speak to how we are supposed to do it. We do it the best way we can, with love, with care. We deliver the good and we deliver the bad. And we do the best that we can to provide solutions to the people. I want to also say this. People don't come to me because their life is great. People come to me because their life is quite often in shambles, because they are hurting, because they are broken, because they are broke, because they are sick, because they are this, they have problems. These are the people that come to me. And so everything isn't always going to be rosy and good, but we do our absolute best to provide solutions and to be as ethical as we possibly can and as transparent as we need to be before I do anything for anyone. And so these lies, this slander, it's disgusting for one, and it's absolutely untrue for two.
So as we move on, and I appreciate you explaining that, because I think that was a lot of what people were saying was that you were, telling people that their children were going to die, and the scam is that, they had to do certain things in order pay money in order to stop that from happening. But so far we have no one to provide any proof of that. And then until we have that, we will move forward. Now, this next video, part of your presentation here, can you tell us what's going on here?
Sure. So a lot of people have been talking about my products. Okay. These are videos of the products being made and created. Now let's go back to those certifications. In those certifications, it talked about us being certified as traditional herbalists and healers. My products were not made in my kitchen in the microwave. These products are made at my temple by highly skilled and trained priests and herbalists, including myself. If you have a problem with the prices, if you can't afford them, you know what's the beautiful thing about it? You don't have to buy them. You can go to my Etsy right now that has been up for I don't even know how long, and read all of the reviews. They are there, and my products speak for themselves. We are licensed to do this, and the results speak for themselves. These are spiritual products, period. Etsy doesn't allow anybody who is not a buyer to leave reviews. So every review on there is from a person who has purchased my products and used them, and on their own left a review. Okay? Now these are, for a lot of people who said, oh, these soaps aren't worth $75. You are absolutely correct. They are worth far more. What goes into making these products, you don't even know. Ingredients you can't even pronounce and never even heard of. Straight up. Now, let's talk about the names of my products. Because aside from being a priest, I'm also a businesswoman who understands branding. Okay? Voodoobae Cosmetics was my first company with products. And as you can see, all of my lip glosses have swaggy names and things related to the spiritual practices, etc., etc. My spiritual products are the same. I find it funny that people attached and logged on to dodge a bullet, and we're going to get into that. Yet nobody, pulled up Make It Rain and said, oh my God, I use this soap and it's not raining outside. It's a fraud. It's a scam. You know why? Because they understood that Make It Rain is a play on words, as is dodge a bullet. There is nowhere on my products that say use this soap and you will turn into Kevlar and you will turn into a bulletproof vest. We make soaps that are for spiritual protection and for physical protection. Dodge a bullet is for protection. Who has not had or been in a negative situation, got out of it, or avoided it and said, oh, I dodged that bullet? That is exactly what the name references. If you read the description, it talks about it works to remove you from negative situations, so that you can avoid any kind of danger, etc., etc. It does not say use this soap and then stand in front of a 9mm and you will be fine. So it's funny how people, and if you look at all of my products, they have very catchy names because that is branding. That is what you are supposed to do when you have a business. I'm a businesswoman. So I have Uno Reverse. I have So Fresh and So Clean. I have Dodge a Bullet. I have I'm Your Favorite. All of these are names for branding. But aside from that, what is in those products is absolutely legitimate and done by priests who have license to do that, including myself. And the beautiful thing about my products, you don't have to buy them. Nobody told you to buy them. You have free will to not purchase anything off of there. And so if $75 is out of your budget, I understand. You don't have to purchase them. There are people who are selling these soaps and products similar for $400, $500 for far more than these. And I will say again, they're not worth $75. They're worth far more. And so as far as my branding, I have a luxe spiritual brand. That is what my brand is. You ain't got to like it. You ain't got to support it. But don't slander it, because at this junction, this has become an issue of slander and defamation. And I will say that because, again, the reviews speak for themselves. And we are actually about to get into some of those reviews from some of the loudest people who have been talking shit on this app. Yeah, so let's get into that.
Okay.
All right. So let's start.
I'm gonna open. I don't know if this person is in the chat before we get into it, but I do. If you are in the chat and you would like to come up after to rebuttal anything, you may go ahead.
All right. So this person, Nicole Facebeat, who happened to be one of my biggest supporters. She was my moderator. She did other things with me off the app. She was one of my biggest supporters this entire time. So let's go through the timeline. On March 4th, she received her first divination. Okay. And to rave reviews. What do you have there on, Karen? What does it say?
I have this email, divination review.
Divination review. Can you please read that email? As you can see, what email is up at the top? The Facebeat Lab. You see that? Mm-hmm. So everybody knows this is her email address.
Dated on 7/29/2022. The email reads, the divination experience with, is it Omai?
Omitola or Omi?
Omi was eye-opening, life-changing, and exciting. The process was very quick and everything was broken down well, so that I understood what my reading consisted of and what everything meant. There were things mentioned that my Omai or no one else would have ever known, that I didn't disclose, that made me know this was real. This let me know that I was divinely led to the right.
Okay. So, go over to the screenshot. Would you like to read that? This is what she received on April 1st. She received her ebos and to rave reviews. Let's read that portion of there.
Now this is through WhatsApp, it looks like.
Yeah, that is
and
WhatsApp.
Just to give context, and this says, wow, that was amazing to see done. I felt happy watching it. I don't know if that is a normal reaction, but I felt peaceful. Thank you, oh my. And your response, you are very welcome. That is normal. Normal.
Go to the next screenshot.
Give me 1 second here for this to load up here. I know it's kind of going over because it's like on a screen timer, y'all. So give me a second. Okay, here we are.
All right. So this is the spiritual bath that she purchased for me. She's purchased her spiritual bath, and she was one of the first persons to come on my live and speak about her experience with my spiritual bath. So let's read her review of my spiritual bath.
At Nicole the Face Beat Labs writes, I am ever grateful for my oh my creating the spiritual bath for us. The self-reflection that I experienced was overdue and much needed. It helped me to make decisions that I was on the fence about, have overdue, tough, and taboo conversations, and solidify the fact that I am on the right spiritual path. There were a couple dreams that I didn't understand, but my oh my included a follow-up meeting to go over everything. This is invaluable because you get to put meaning behind the things you experience. This will definitely not be my last time doing a spiritual bath. Now, oh my, she's referring to you, correct?
It's Omi.
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 I'm sorry. My apologies. Omi, she's referring to you, correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah. Omi.
Nicole, are you in the chat? Nicole. Are you in the chat? We'd love to hear from you. Is there anything else that you'd love to add?
So no, let's keep going. I am not done. I have only just begun. So let's go.
Uh-oh.
I'm not done. Let's go. Let's keep going.
Here's the next screenshot here.
All right. So the next screenshot
hold
will
on.
be on November 18th of 2022. She reached out for praise and to offer me something. Can you read that, please?
Sure. It says, my Omi, question, is your Amazon wish list up to date? I ask because I want to bless you as I can, because since my reading and after Ebo, so many blessings have come my way all at once, and I want to thank you for being that guide that brought me here. Even if it's placing a big order from Voodoobae Cosmetics, anything. To which you response, wait, I'm sorry, hold on. It says, I don't know.
My response was like, thank you or something. I don't think you can see it in that screenshot.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So that was on May 18th. Okay. Let's go to the next one. That would be November 13th.
This is what I have here. It looks like it says February. Did I miss a screenshot?
Oh, maybe that wasn't in order. Can you read that one?
It says, just reaching out to you to see how you are doing. You were on my mind all day yesterday, so I figured I was supposed to check on you. LOL. You must have responded, and obviously you responded in a voice message. LOL, I figured you was working. I'm doing good and healing up real good. I'm down 40 pounds so far. I'm glad to hear you're good, because I was like, why was she on my mind all day? So I was hoping you were good.
So that was just her reaching out to check on me. That was out of order. Let's go to the next one.
Okay, let's see here as we go.
Right.
Is this the one here, or is that it?
Go back. So there should be other screenshots in there that talk about how I did Ebo for her for free. So let me, in fact, pull that up myself. Hold on, and I will send you that screenshot. I don't know why it's not in the Nicole, hold on.
And I'm gonna open my chat just in case she's on a different page. I'm gonna open my chat briefly here. So give me a second here. The chat is opening for Nicole, or for Nicole. If you want to join, you are very much encouraged to.
Okay.
If you just need to make yourself known to the mods and to myself.
Hold on, let me get. Were in subsequent group chats that I had nothing to do with, that I was not involved in or anything. They got into it. There was issues inside of that group chat that I, again, had nothing to do with. Nicole was in these group chats along with her and several other people. When the situation with Janine blew up, everybody came to me because, of course, I am either their mentee, godmother, or whatever, whatnot. And it was my job to essentially mediate and put an end to the situation that was going on. Janine asked me to ask the Shells if she was responsible for all of the things that happened in the group chat and the breakdown of the relationship. That is the video there on the right of me actually asking the Shells.
Okay.
Okay. I asked them if she was responsible. The Odu that came out was Ofun Ogbe. And for any of my people, my Orisha people, they know what that means. Essentially, the answer was yes. She was responsible for all of the things that happened in the group chat. So she was essentially removed from the group chats, but she was not removed from me. Because just because you don't work effectively in this group of women who, again, I had no regulating of these group chats. I wasn't in these group chats. I had no idea what they were doing, saying. They were creating relationships outside of me. But I did express to them after this that anything that they did in there was going to fall back on me. And once again, we are here because what she has said and been on these lives speaking about is how she was so upset. She got kicked out of the group chat. She doesn't know why, which is funny to me. Because the video here, you know exactly why you were removed from these group chats. Because the Orishas themselves stated that you were responsible for what had happened and the breakdown in the mess that I essentially had nothing to do with. But even when she was removed from those group chats, she wasn't removed from me. I continued to speak to Janine. And that was on December 22nd, around that time when I divined to find out about what was going on. My last contact with Janine was January 30th, 2023. Mm-hmm. So she continued to be in contact with me after that. Okay. Right there, so Janine spoke about some financial things. If you read that long messages, she breaks down herself. Okay. The money she spent, what was given, what was spent, what was owed. If you see this long...
There's a video, there's sound, so I'm trying to skip past it because mine is about to... There we go. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I didn't know if you wanted me to play that sound clip,
no,
but you want to...
Need. Just read that.
I hope all is well with you. I was reviewing the monies that I sent you towards my presentation, which was $400. You gave me back $100 so that I could join the crypto plan. I then sent you $50 for the divination for the job offer. But when that came out the way it did, I asked if you would do a full divination from the funds. I assumed that is what you did. So that would leave $150. If you minus the ticket to the first seminar, that would leave $125. I would like to ask you one favor. Would you please take the remaining funds and do a divination for this entire situation with, and we block out the name, and the group chat. If it comes out that I deserved what all took place, then so be it. Thank you for your consideration in this matter.
Ashe. So that was the message that then led to this. I did not put this video out there because I feel like casting Dilogun and casting divination is sacred and private. And so I didn't put that there, but you can see the video. You see my shells there. You see I'm sitting in front of the tray. I did the divination. And if there's any ever question, if she tries to deny this, then I will post the video. But out of respect for the Orishas, I didn't want to post that for her. But she said, okay, thank you, etc., etc. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, she knows exactly why she was removed from the groups. And she also knows that she never lost access to me. Okay? And so that, I'm sure, I don't know who else has spoken or said or whatever they have said. These are the people who I have seen speak, in the videos that have been sent to me.
Okay.
And, I want to say a couple of things, because I know everybody, and I've seen a lot of people in the chat wanting me to speak about indigo.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to, other than to say this. That woman was somebody that I cared for deeply and still do care for deeply. That was a woman who I've had in my home, who slept in the room with my Orishas, that I trusted, that I cared for very deeply. Why she did this, I don't know. Why she did this without ever calling me, without ever speaking to me, I don't know. And it is not something that I need to ask myself, but that's something that she's going to have to answer to herself. I don't know. I will never speak ill about her. I will never, I just will never, because I considered her my sister. And what we are essentially seeing is what happens when broken women try to pretend to be in sisterhood. And then all of this happens. Every one of these women have lied. Every one of these women, I have done and extended myself in every possible way that I could. My reputation as a priest is very important and near and dear to me because I hold our traditions sacred. Who I am as a priest means a lot, not just on this app, because I represent something that's very real off this app. And so when you lie, I don't have a problem with, you can dislike me. You don't have to like my products. You don't have to buy them. You could not like me for numerous reasons, but don't lie on me. Don't say that I am something that I am not. Don't slander my name without receipts. So I want to say this. I will not be addressing this on this app anymore. Everything else that I will be speaking, all of this PowerPoint will be on my YouTube. You can follow me there and find it there, etc., etc. I will not be speaking about this anymore on this app. The next time I have to show these receipts will be in a courtroom. If I have to show these receipts again, it will be for a defamation and slander. One person has already been served with a cease and desist. And I have the time and the resources, and I do not have a problem. Because every single receipt I have, there are far more receipts than that. I just don't want to take up 17 hours of your time.
No, I appreciate that. I want to bring up Black Crystal. She has been waiting. But before I bring up Black Crystal, I'm actually going to go and use the restroom. So we're going to take a brief recess here. Give me a few moments, you guys. I will be back, and then we'll bring up Black Crystal, okay? Talk amongst yourselves in the chat. I'll be back.
For everybody in the comments and the chats that, support, and I thank y'all, but, this is the nature of this app. Like, this is the shit that happens where people can just say things and then it starts a fire and you just run with it. And then people start the bandwagon and people go and they go and they go and they don't have to provide any proof. And trying to destroy somebody's business, their livelihood, their credit, their credibility outside of this app without any actual receipts. That is, it's absurd the way this app works. And, like I said, I will be moving away from this app and more on YouTube because the nature of this thing for me, it's just, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and bring up Black Crystal. And then I think we can drop Voodoobae Cosmetics. Thank you so much for joining and being a part of the presentation. I appreciate you helping. Let me see here. I don't know. Go ahead, Black Crystal.
Hey, so here's my question.
Would you mind turning on your camera, please?
No, I'm not going to turn on my camera. I don't want to right now.
Okay. Well, you can step down. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you. If you talk a lot of junk in other people's lives, I asked you a simple thing. If you don't want to play by my rules, then why you come up here? I'm not playing any games. So if you would like to have a conversation, we can do that. For someone who got the least amount of services, you sure talk a lot. So if that's the case, and you don't have anything like it really wasn't a question. Now I see that you're back in the box. So and I see Siren is here. So we're gonna, since you were disrespectful, we'll go ahead with Siren first. Siren, please turn on your camera when you join the live.
Hello?
Hi, Siren. Can you turn on your camera, please?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Sure.
Can you see me?
We cannot. I can see you. I just sent you a request for you to turn on your camera.
It didn't. I see a box up and I see the camera, but it's not like X'd out. Hold on.
Okay, there you go. Okay. We see. There we go. We see you. Siren, what would you like to say?
So I'm Janine.
Mm-hmm.
And I am a little taken aback because this thing did go way crazier than even me. I never once said that Omi scammed me. Those words never came out of my mouth. What I did say was a synopsis of my experience, that I cried and I was upset and I did not understand why I was removed from the temple. I said that me and some of the ladies in a group had gotten into something. I wasn't still not even sure what exactly it was that they told Omi that they were upset with me about. But all of what Omi said is true. But I want Omi to know I never said that you scammed. I never made anything like that. You never heard me say anything like that or even imply. The only thing I talked about was my disappointment in the waist beads. And I also said that there were some things that took place that I agreed I would never talk about. And because of my integrity, I wasn't going to talk about that. And I never did. So I don't feel as though, I'm sorry if people had the experiences that they said that they had with her. I'm saying those were not my experiences. And I never said they were. I never said anything like that.
Are you saying that you were never on a live where people were talking about Voodoobae as being a scammer? Are you saying you were never?
I didn't hear that part when I first came up. When I first came up, that's not what was being said. It was subsequently, after me, other people started coming up talking about their own things that they had with her. I'm not speaking on nobody else's stuff. I wasn't there. I don't know. They were the ones that were saying whatever they felt as though they needed to say. I chose my words the way I did with reason. So I spoke on my experience and how I felt about my experience. Never once did I say that she scammed me or anything like that.
Okay. Voodoobae, do you have anything you'd like to add? Was that a no? I'm sorry, I was looking. No. Okay. All right. Well,
yeah.
Thank you.
That's it. I just don't want to get roped into saying something that I know I did not say.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for clearing it up.
That's that.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, Black Crystal, we'll go ahead and. Oh no, that's not who I meant to. I tapped somebody else. I don't know who Pumpkin. I'm sorry, Pumpkin Queen. I don't know who you are, and I didn't mean to tap you up there.
So I have my kids with me. That's why I didn't want to turn on the camera.
That's not what you were trying to say before.
That is exactly what I was trying to say.
All
I
right,
have
go
my
ahead.
children. I never put my children in the camera.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, thank you. So, hello, Voodoobae. So, when I paid for my service, what did that include?
You paid for a question and answer session as I posted the screenshots of the session that you actually paid for, and it is simply exactly what it says, a question
Okay.
and answer.
So when you did the question A, how is that normally done?
Via Zoom, we sit, we speak, we talk, you ask your questions, I give the answers.
Did we have a Zoom call, Voodoobae?
I don't actually remember. I'd have to
We
go
did
through my
not.
receipts and
We did not have a phone. We did not have a Zoom call. I waited on the Zoom call for 30 minutes and you never showed. You then texted me and said, I can't make it to the Zoom call. I'll just call you. You then called me, Voodoobae, on the phone where it was very loud and busy. You said that you were out and you didn't have time to take that Zoom call that I scheduled and paid $100 for. During the Q&A, I asked questions and you gave me very general answers, and then you said, I'll put all of this in a email and send it over to you. That phone call was like 10 or 15 minutes. I paid $100 for you to answer my questions about what I was asking for, and you did not complete the Zoom call, and you threw me off the phone and sent me a long email that was obviously a copy and paste. That is not what I paid for.
I would have to go back. Go ahead, Karen.
My first question is, you're making a matter. You're making a factual statement here. You're saying it was obviously a copy and paste. Do you have proof that it was a copy and paste?
It was a very long email with the same stuff that she showed up on the screen of the email that she sent. Yes, because she showed an email stating the same stuff that I got in my email. It was just a basic rundown of where Orishas are and all that kind of stuff. It did not answer any of my questions that I had. It was not specific to me.
Okay. Voodoobae, what is your response to that?
So my response is that I don't remember everything because honestly, I read for hundreds of people in divinations. I will have to go back through the messages because when I went, honestly, Crystal, you know me and you were cool. Since after that and before that, you didn't have a problem with me after that actual encounter. And at any given time, you could have came to me and said, I feel like I didn't get what I paid for, and I would have either refunded your money or did your session. We have talked on live, off of live, etc., etc. You never expressed to me. And I want to say this, I'm not a perfect person. I'm busy. Things happen. Shit happens. Life happens. If you didn't get what you paid for, number one, I will gladly send you your $100 back. I don't have a problem with that. But just between me and you know and I know that since that, we've been cool. And if you had a problem, you could have came to me and said that. But you scammed. I didn't intentionally hurt you or take anything from you at all. You could have definitely came to me and said, this is a problem. I don't honestly remember. I have to go. There is records of all of my Zoom calls. I can go back and, you understand, or look through our text messages. Sure. All of that. I'm not saying that you're lying and that didn't happen. I'm saying I don't quite remember. But even if that did happen, what I am saying is that after that, you remained cool with me. And if you felt so slighted, you could have absolutely called me and spoke to me, and I would have gave you your session or refunded your money at any given time.
Sure. So I'm not going to talk about anybody else's stuff. That was just my experience. I said what happened. I didn't get what I paid for, and it is what it is. I don't have nothing else to say about that.
Crystal, did you at any point after did you email her or say that you didn't feel comfortable with your reading or your question and answer? Did you ever tell her that you felt like you didn't get what you paid for?
I did not. I kept it to myself.
Okay. Why did you feel uncomfortable keeping it to yourself, though you two remain friends?
I don't call us friends.
So
it
what
wasn't
made you
like that,
uncomfortable?
but
What made you uncomfortable then?
I just felt like it was something that I just should have took it on the chin. Like I was wrong about Voodoobae, and that was it. And I just kept it to myself. I didn't share it with anybody. I just kept it to myself. And then
would you agree that you are someone who is very outspoken and have no problem with talking how you feel on people?
I say things that I want to say, sure.
So I guess what I'm trying to understand is what made this situation different.
It's just I don't know. It's just one of those things. This is what it is. I've wanted to see if things were real. It was one of those things. I just wanted to see if these things were real and have a confirmation of that. I didn't get it, so it is what it is.
Since then, you've been on lives where people have questioned Voodoobae's race, have called her a white woman. You have participated in that as well. Do you feel as though the question and answer, you not getting your question and answering, or getting what you felt was a proper service, now reflecting on this, has anything to do with that? I mean, do you feel as though there's bashing going on instead of actually complaining about the actual service that you got?
I would say that the grouping of stories and the things that I've heard from multiple people, I don't feel like that's something they would just make up. So it wasn't I've got this on Voodoobae. It was more like, this happened, and then people started coming out with their stories and telling their stories.
But what does that have to do with you calling her a white woman, saying that she making fun of her father, and trying to pull up pictures of her mother, saying that she's an actress?
Pull up pictures of nobody's mama.
You've been in lives in which they were doing that exact same thing. So I guess my thing is you didn't get the service that you wanted, but what does that have to do with you trying to strip away her blackness and her credibility?
Listen, I'll just say this, that there is other stuff that like information that other people gonna have to say. That's all I got. I can't.
So then would you agree then that you jump on the bandwagon then, or you just kind of go where you feel like going at any point in time, or do you have any real gripe against Voodoobae?
I don't. What do you mean if I'm just jumping on the band? I mean, if you want to call it that, you can call it that, I guess. I really don't give a fuck what all y'all think, honestly. I said my story, and that's what happened, and people on lives were saying what they wanted to say while I was in the box. I don't know what you want me to do about that, but again, this is not something I really give a fuck about. Well, as far as y'all's personal,
I find it interesting that you say you don't really give a fuck about it, but yet you didn't have the courage, or you didn't feel like confronting her at the time. Mm-hmm. But now you don't give a fuck about what we think.
Like I said, it wasn't one of those things where I was aching to alleviate this problem. It was $100. It was $100. It's not that serious for me.
No, it must be. I mean, you've sat on several.
But I did sit on the panels and I did listen, because these people have come to me as well as other people and told these stories. So yes, did I sit on the panel and listen to people's stories? Yes, I did. Did I host a live and let people come and tell their stories? I sure did. I did, Karen.
I guess my question is, when you feel that someone has wronged you, do you question their blackness? Do you question them? Is that something you do, or just? I'm just wondering.
How would you like me to answer that question, Karen?
Truthfully.
I don't have a answer for that because I haven't been in that situation before.
Okay. You're lying. So, but I thank you so
right,
much,
okay.
Crystal, for coming up here. Crystal,
No problem.
you've questioned a lot of people's blackness. Thank you so much for coming up.
I question yours too. I think you're a white woman.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Crystal. You have a good one. Is there anybody else that would like to come up here? Other than that, I don't think there's anybody in the box that has been impacted by Voodoobae or anything like that. So with that being said, Voodoobae, would you, I would like to have subscribers and people who want to just comment. You are no longer, required or, having to sit here. You can listen in or however you feel, but I don't want to take too much of your time. I do want to wrap things up for the jury.
Let's do that. So I'm just going to say this. My patron deity, Alokiegbe, is a patron deity of justice, a Orisha of white cloth, and he believes in retribution and balance. And so I want to say this. If any of these allegations are true, may he spite me and deal with me in my life. Anybody that is lying, especially these women who signed this code of conduct to that Orisha, for anybody who is lying, who is slandering my name, who is disrespecting the Orisha, may you feel the wrath of that Orisha. May he deal with you and bring justice as it is seen fit for each and every one of the persons for our actions in this situation, including myself. If I have done anything, let me be held accountable. But if you have done something, let you also be held accountable. And that is balance for all of us. I take my responsibility, take yours.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Voodoobae. I appreciate you joining.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right.
You as well. Thank you, guys. Now, as I said, we're going to go ahead and have anybody who would like to speak on this up. We'll spend the next 20 or so minutes speaking on this and wrapping things up. So give me a second while I pull up. As always, my subscribers will go first because they are a part of the jury and they subscribe. So please forgive me if you are not subscribed and you get skipped. We'll start off with returning to truth. What are your thoughts on this entire situation?
Hi. So I just wanted to chime in real quick because I'm someone who has worked with her. And I wanted to say that I had a situation where I ordered something from the shop, and because you're dealing with postal service, right, it got hung up in the postal service. So I was confused about why it was taking so long. So as you do with any company, when you order a product and there's an issue, I contacted customer service. And within less than a week, the second shipment arrived at my house, and then a few days later, the initial shipment came because, again, it was just hung up in the postal service. I thought it was kind of weird that there were two people who had essentially a customer service issue, and rather than contacting the company or speaking directly with her, they wanted to get on the app and talk crazy about somebody rather than just what you do when you have a service issue with something. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so I just wanted to say that because that kept coming up and I was like, email customer service, right? It's right there,
Yeah, and I think that's the interesting thing. I know a lot of people felt like, oh my God, a slideshow. But the reason that we hold this court, if you will, is to give people the opportunity to provide their proof. There has been over a week now of these ladies going back and forth, Indigo, Black Crystal, all of them hosting these lives for over a week now, saying that they were wrong. And no one providing any proof that they were wrong, just saying that they were. And that's why I thought that this was important. Right. And I think that's where we kind of have to look at it. This is a situation in which you need to be able to show your proof, especially when you have a business.
Exactly.
So thank you so much, Returning to Truth, for giving us your thoughts on the situation and your experience. Madeline, what's up?
Thanks.
Hey, first off, I want to say you left me dangling because I had my scammer wig too. You ain't the only one that been scammed, boo. I bore my wig so we could twin. You see, I ain't got no lace on here, no baby hairs. My pot look a whole hot ass mess. And this is not from Party City. I got this off a Facebook website. Do not trust Facebook and wigs. Okay, that was the first part. Second part. So I got a couple notes, but I'm gonna go ahead and round this off quickly because Lord, Voodoobae, your receipts. I love a good receipt. You gave me every receipt I needed. You even had voice recording, so it was no way to dispute a lot of those receipts because it's like we heard your voice, we heard the voice of clients, but a couple things that I noted. One, I love the fact how you showed me your list of soaps because it shows me that Indigo, Trina, all of y'all, and I'm going to name y'all because y'all were here. I'm not scared to name any names. Y'all were literally using the Dodge a Bullet soap to spin a narrative. Mm-hmm. And if there was not any context around those other soaps, we as the viewers would not have known that there is a long line of names of these soaps that are out there, which as a business owner, it sounds like she's literally just using catchy names to get you to get the product. Again, it is not her problem if you get the product and it doesn't spin the way that you want it to. You guys do not come at pastors when you buy holy water and it does not give you a blessing in that week. You guys do not get upset when you buy and I'm not coming at anybody's religion, but Santeria candles, and you put in a blessing that night, and it doesn't come in that night. So why are you doing it now with this soap? And now that I see that there's other soaps like Make It Rain, and other, the other names that she did list, it lets me know that you tried to do this to spin a narrative, which brings me to my next point. Black Crystal. If you really had an issue with not getting a Zoom call, how the fuck, excuse my language, how did we get from you having an issue to not getting a Zoom call to you being accepting of an email? Do you really think that we as the viewers are stupid? That's why when I can't remember the last, the person that was just up that just dropped, when she stated that in customer service, if you have an issue, you speak on it. That is very much true. You don't just say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and accept an email. And then when my mutuals have an issue with Voodoobae, I'm going to say I was scammed. That is exactly what you did. You saw that you were in a group of people that had an issue with Voodoobae and you wanted to be in the it crowd. Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen. You really need to cut that shit out because as a grown woman, if this was your friend, you are dead ass wrong for sitting up here and literally hopping on a bandwagon rather than having a legit conversation. And I'm going to be thoroughly honest. I know that you were wrong because there was no kids in your background. You couldn't turn your camera on because you couldn't face the person that you did wrong. Let's keep it a wrap.
Yeah, I mean, you have no problem. You have no problem with cussing in front of your child was sitting there. You were you were swearing in front of your child. You have no problem with that, but you can't angle your camera just a little bit so you don't get seen. I found that to be cap. I find that to be, and I think it's very interesting, that it gives very much mean girl energy. You were waiting for an opportunity. Because as she said, as you sit here, you don't give a fuck about what we think. So why didn't you give a fuck about what Voodoobae thought? Or were you just waiting for an issue? And it sounds like to me, you were waiting for an issue to jump on the old bandwagon. And then you got your issue and you decided to name your experience. And at the end of the day, y'all look stupid. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that none of you were, y'all said that people's children were in danger. And that their children were, she was telling them that their children were going to be harmed. And you held alive for a whole week, every single day. Whether it was your live or you were on Indigo's live, and nothing has been proven. And all you have to say for yourself is, well, yeah, maybe I did jump on it, or maybe I did do this. Black Crystal, I think you've shown your hand, and if anyone is a follower of Black Crystal, if you consider yourself a mutual of hers, or you consider yourself anything, I would be very weary of the energy and of the person that you call a mutual. As we know, mutuals don't really mean friends, and then I think Black Crystal has made that very, very clear. Pumpkin Queen,
Can I finish off one more thing, and I'm gonna drop it. I promise I'm gonna drop after this. Just because I want
Hello.
to get everything out. But the last two things I wanted to say, I find it very funny that two of the people that really, really boosted this, and again, I'm gonna say names because I'm not scared, Trina and Indigo. For you two, I do feel like, again, this is another clout chase. Trina, I'm just gonna be 100% thorough with you. You've been in a lot of situations in the last couple of weeks. I feel like this is another situation of, oh, I know who she is, just like with Black Crystal. I used to have a relationship with her. Let me hate her too, because you couldn't even show your face in here once Voodoobae had them receipts. You was in here in the beginning. We all saw you in here in the beginning. As soon as them receipts dropped, you ran off. Indigo, I'm not going to speak on your friendship because me, from somebody that is a Black woman that doesn't really have friends right now because of what Voodoobae is going through, I can't really speak on that because I know hurt when I see it. And I don't like the fact that we as Black women, instead of having conversations, we have to now come to an app that is ran by a not even a YT man, that is possibly being funded by a lot of YT racist people, that is not even ran by Black people, but y'all feel comfortable to come here and embarrass Black people.
Mm-hmm.
But this is coming from the same woman that doesn't believe in Black unity. So I'm not shocked. But I will say this. The last live, I didn't forget how we basically was able to break the code and break the fact that you had no receipts. You were going off of hearsay. So everybody that is following you is following off of hearsay. Voodoobae came up in here and said, fuck the hearsay. I got receipts for you. So y'all need to choose what side y'all on. But as far as me as a jury member and me as a DA, I'm voting not guilty. Y'all have a great night.
Thank you so much. Stacy, what? Oh, actually, Pumpkin Queen, you were first. Go ahead. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm actually a priestess myself, and I had questions for Voodoobae. I was born into it. I have a third eye. I am gifted. I do. If you look at my page, I have actually done exorcisms.
Okay.
This is my husband. If you look on my page.
Okay.
I personally think Voodoobae is a scam because, first of all, the Santero community is a very gatekeep community. It's not to be put out there at all.
Okay.
You know what they do that in Puerto Rico? They actually take them up to the mountains and hack them and decapitate them.
I'm sorry.
That's
are
what
you guys and maybe you can answer this.
No. That's the culture. But for you to know, for you to find somebody with so-called these gifts, right? It has to be somebody that you know. You know, like if you see somebody with bees on them and you ask, you know, where you get them at, they give you a number and with the name and who they refer you to, right? And then they call you. I mean, the person will call them and then call the person back that they referred them to.
I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure. Do you two practice the same?
I was born into it.
No,
It passed down.
No.
It passed down to my mother, my grandmother, and onto my daughter. It runs in a women in the family.
Okay, but what I'm asking you though is, you do you practice what she practices? The exact same.
It's the same African gods. Either or is the African gods. And me personally, what I think with the bulletproof soap and the police thing, that part right there, I feel as though it's targeting the Black community. Because because of what's going on. Also, what about if a child get a hold of that soap and decide to test it on them and decide to shoot themselves? It's dangerous marketing. And first of all, not only that, you're not supposed to take pictures of your initiation. Pictures are not to be taken. You're not supposed to take pictures of your altar. That is private.
Okay,
it is private.
Give me a second. Let's reverse a few things here.
Hold on, honey.
When you say, what if a child gets a hold of the soap
and believes that it works
and tries it? Okay. Well, I would have to say then marketing. I'm trying to be respectful. I really think that that was the biggest stretch you could possibly do. I cannot see.
It's not a stretch.
I can't,
It's not a stretch.
Okay. Okay. I don't, but the soap does not, so you're reading the label, right? But the soap does not say protects you against bullets.
Bulletproof soap.
It says, it didn't say, hold on. It didn't say bulletproof. It says dodge a bullet.
Bullet.
It didn't say bulletproof. So let's not put words. Okay. Dodge. Bulletproof is two different scenarios, right?
Either or, dodge a bullet. It's still targeted in the Black community.
Because only Black people get shot?
And then that police pendant, I mean, for me, it's a scam. I mean, is she qualified to do exorcisms? Is she qualified to do readings?
I can't answer those questions.
I'm sorry to cut y'all off.
What gives you the qualification to question her?
I was born with it. I am gifted. My family does it.
Can I ask you a question? And this is
I was born with it. I have done. Look on my page. I have actually done exorcism. You can see my husband doing black and his eyes.
I'm not saying that you haven't done.
Can she do that?
I don't.
Is she qualified?
Listen. I've never requested any services. I've never heard her claim to do exorcisms. But if you would like me to show people you doing one, I guess you are showing proof of your services. Why can't she show proof of hers? I thought this is supposed to be.
And another thing for her, it takes years for you to get crowned, and not only that, for her to say she didn't shave her head because of her job. First of all, the religion comes first. She is supposed to shave her head to get crowned.
Pumpkin, can I ask you a question? A serious question? Just because I'm trying to understand I'm trying to understand the expectation and with the purpose right now. So the point was Voodoobae was being slandered by people online, not to her face. They had her contact information. And we are trying to determine whether or not you think that that's cap or not. And this is genuine. I'm listening to how you're talking, and I'm neurodivergent. I'm listening to how you're talking, and I'm listening to the things that you're saying. So, like, either A, you're really upset and you're not gathering your thoughts all together, or two, you sound a little slow. So I don't want to ask you questions if you're not.
Wait, let's rephrase that. I think that could be very ableist in how it's phrased to say something.
I have learning disabilities, so I have to overthink when I'm talking. So when I'm talking to someone, I'm not going to talk to you in a certain way if you have to take a minute to like get everything together. Because right now I can't determine if you're just really upset, so you sound this way. B, you just don't like Voodoobae at all, or C,
first of all,
find something offensive about her practices. I'm
lost.
All right, just so we're clear, if you have on your she dropped. I don't know what happened. I didn't touch it, but she has on her page that she's a high functioning autistic and human trafficking survivor, wife and mother. I don't respectfully, Pumpkin, just because I don't feel comfortable having a conversation with you because of I don't think we're on the same wavelength of being able to have a conversation. I don't want to waste your time. I also don't want to send any negative energy or hate your way. I'm not going to bring you back up.
And the only reason why I asked it that way is because she was in Blaze Live speaking very clearly and very negatively. So sometimes I think there's a big difference because, like I said, and Karen, you know that I am very neurodivergent. I have learning disabilities. I had to take the SATs by word. There's nothing wrong with that. I am a disabled person. However, if you can articulate when you're insulting someone, you need to make sure if you're going to take the time to hop in a box to stay on topic and like so we know what's going on. I just think that was a little bit like if you're to articulate an insult and do damage in toxic spaces, then we at least to have that same decorum in your doing it. Yeah, and that's why I've heard her speak before, and it was I'm like you're very
you're trying to understand.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think, and just for some educational piece, there are a lot of people in the comments who just feel like even though you're neurodivergent, being ableist and saying that she's slow. So we're gonna wrap this up. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to make sure you understand what you said, and so the people in the comments can understand that that's what you said, and you understand how that was taken.
Yeah, and that's why I asked like that. I asked that way because I've seen her speak before, and it wasn't like, are you just angry? So I'm just trying to get I personally feel really bad that Voodoobae was treated this way.
Mm-hmm.
I think we when it is white-owned businesses, when it is private businesses, corporations, we give so second and third and fourth chances. I personally don't think she did anything wrong, but if we can go and we can write reviews and we can send emails